Hi everyone. I wanted to give you a map update in this way, just because there's some people in the building that have been doing map for a while and kind of know how to administer map, and some people that might need more help with just like the basics of setting up a testing session and running testing sessions. So if you need more more of that setup help, I'm going to be around. Just send me an email to meet during your prep on Monday or Tuesday, or Tuesday after school. Tuesday after school, you can come to room 223, and I'll help you guys set up accommodations and administer and create test sessions or any other type of map questions that you might have. So after school or during your prep for those types of needs. But I just wanted to give you guys kind of big picture things, big picture updates in a video. I will be filtering around a lot during map testing into classrooms, but please, if you need any in the moment type of support, please just dial 0 and give Jackie your room number, and I'll come up to help troubleshoot with you. I did talk to tech support this morning, and the number for tech support is 22200, or it's really 222 pause and then 00. And they really want the teacher or whoever's proctoring to be calling them, just because they really need to see that proctor screen and really see the status of something to really troubleshoot. But please, if that's happening, just call me up so I can help monitor the room and help support through that. But just you guys, if there's an issue with testing and like your proctor screen, you can just begin the process by giving tech support a call. So you dial 222 pause and then 00, and then it's extension number 2 for assessments. I do want to go through a couple resources with you guys, and if you go to Google Drive in AA Sebeski and the assessment folder map, you'll see all these resources. Okay, so there's a couple things that I want to highlight for you guys. One is the Sebeski map test score Excel sheet. So every student is in here alphabetically, and the first tab is high school, second tab is middle school, and third tab is primary. And what we're going to do is we're just going to record each student's score into the sheet. Now I also have score recording sheets, so it kind of looks weird on the iPad, but basically there's 3 on a page, so you can kind of save copies that way, just cutting them into thirds for students, and then have the students record their score on this sheet, and then they can give it to you and you can enter it into the Excel sheet. Just be careful, because some of the secondary scores are different than the primary instructional areas, so just be sure to print kind of what you need from this document. But yeah, you can give these to the students to record their scores at the end if you want to use that, and then enter it into the Excel sheet. And then I wanted to show you guys the PowerPoint. Where did it go? There it is. Okay. Next, this is what I used in my room to kind of prepare students for map testing for the week. Again, I usually wouldn't test on Mondays, and I'd ask students to complete anywhere between 10 and 20 problems each day. And feel free to make a copy and edit your expectations for map if you want to use this PowerPoint. Do what you want with it. But I just I like to go through the expectations, that they're taking their time and doing their best. And then also, why is map important? So I like to talk to them about why they would take map and the importance of map. And then I like to go through these graphs with them. So these are growth graphs, and they show different students' growth from fall to spring. And it's kind of nice to be able to say to a student, what does this graph say about, or what's the story about this student's growth on map throughout the year? And then there's there's one like this where it's just a completely invalid test score, and we might be saying, well, they weren't asking the students, what might have happened to give them this type of a score too. So I think that's an important graph to show them as well. And then you can actually print the individual student's growth chart. It's called the student growth or the student goal setting worksheet. And you can print them out with just reading or just language usage or all the MAP growth exams in one sheet. So you guys can do that if you'd like. But again, I usually wouldn't start on Mondays, and I'd give the expectation that we're only getting through like 10 to 20 problems a day. Also here, some focus mats, just some options for after map testing, things to do after map testing, or you guys might have other things that you have planned for after map testing, which is fine, but just wanted to give that as a resource. For creating test sessions, that is here, this resource. So for setting up test sessions, again, if you need help setting up test sessions, please come see me during your prep or Tuesday after school. And something that I found very helpful is just putting all your students into one group. You don't need to make a different group for each period of your day. Just put all the students in one group. It's a lot easier. If you do choose to enter all the students into one group, when you go to assign test accommodations, assigning test accommodations is also in the shared folder. Here it is. Couple things to know as you enter accommodations, particularly the one that needs to be entered would be that text-to-speech accommodation. You need to assign a test first. Text-to-speech is only possible to assign in the math test and the science test. You can't assign text-to-speech for any type of English, type of reading or language usage exam. It's just for math and science. So once you make your testing session, you have to assign a test. So you would either be assigning the math or the science, and then you can go in and assign accommodations. Now there is a little snafu when you assign accommodations. You have to assign it a grade at a time. So you can only assign, so let's say you have 9th and 10th graders in one testing session. You have to assign all the 9th graders the text-to-speech accommodation and then all the 10th graders, but you can't assign a 9th and a 10th grader the text-to-speech accommodation in one go round. You have to do it 2 separate times. Okay, and please see me if you need help with that, because I have done that before and can definitely help assign that type of an accommodation. Please make sure to charge your Chromebooks. I know that we're short chargers. I'm going to go around and do an inventory and get everyone enough Chromebook chargers, but just be switching those around. Another thing I wanted to bring up is that this screen is coming up when people are signing into Chromebooks. And as I'm thinking, no one is signing into a Chromebook, so I don't need to go over that right now. No one is signing into a Chromebook for MAP. So when you go to do map testing, do not have the students log in. They're clicking the apps button in the bottom left-hand corner and then clicking the NWEA secure testing app, and then the session name and session password will be the one that appears on your screen, okay? But don't have them sign in. And so since they're not signing in, you shouldn't have that other insight error. But for anyone that is having that insight error, just so you know, click on this computer screen. Click on the actual screen that you see, like the dark part here, and then click share. See how share, you can't click share right now, but if you click onto this dark screen, and then the share button will appear, and they'll have to do that every time that they sign in. Let's see. Oh yes, one more thing. The disengagement feature. So for the disengagement, the test is going to automatically pause them if their system is sensing any type of disengagement from the student. So they get 3 pauses in one testing session before I believe it's going after the 3rd pause, it suspends them for the day. But currently, after the first pause, the student would either have to enter the proctor PIN or you would have to resume their test. Okay? But it does say that in the manual here that they get 3 pauses on the growth exam. If they're really struggling, again, this is kind of why I asked them to do like 10 to 15 questions a day. If they're really struggling getting to that, maybe lower the threshold for them. Or if you know that the student can continue on or just needs a break and then they come back to it later. But just kind of, you know your students best, so just kind of see where they're at, and if they need to suspend if you need to suspend the test for the day and try again tomorrow, that's completely fine. But just know that you're suspending the test, and then if you're trying to resume the test, you can hit test again, and then it will continue to test them. But they get 3 pauses. Okay, and please see me if you have questions, because I know the disengagement feature was really sensitive last year, and I think I'm not sure what it's going to look like this year, so we'll just kind of have to take that day by day. And I think that's it. Please let me know if you have questions. Again, I'll be filtering around, and just if you need anything, dial 0 and give Jackie your room number and I'll be right up. And then please email me if you want to set up a time during your prep, or just come to 223 after school on Tuesday, and I'll be around to help you guys set up test sessions or enter accommodations or whatever questions you might have. And then you guys can begin when you're ready. Okay? Thank you.